Love, live, life. Life can be glorious and hideous. Stick your feet to the ground, but don't think you are counted out. Don't let the wind pull you and tear you apart. Let yourself live freely and love, and you'll be happy. No limits. Just keep on.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another Iron Will podcast with me, Shane Warner, and
John Chase.
So what this podcast is all about is we are trying to get stories from people that have been through a traumatic experience in their lives and came out a different person.
Yeah, they have all created an iron will. So what is an iron will? A burning determination that cannot be stopped or hindered by anything, willing to do anything to get a desired outcome, extremely resilient. So what we like to say is just keep punching.
Yeah. So sit back and relax, and we're going to start the show. Hey guys, and today we have Hannah Morales on the podcast with us again. Hannah was on episode number 7, and then
seems like so long ago already. Yeah, geez.
But then, like a week later, she was hit by a car or truck, and anyway, so I'm gonna have her tell that story, and also I'm gonna have her kind of recap her previous story also. So take it away, Hannah.
All right, so story begins with I sustained a traumatic brain injury when I was in undergrad in March of 2015. Recovered from that and graduated undergrad, and then I entered medical school, ended up failing 2 classes, having to repeat first year and kind of relearning how to learn and dealing with failures that as a highly driven person, it's hard to admit that you failed or didn't do as well as you wanted, and then learning how to talk to other people about that were maybe going through the same thing, and being the person that I kind of wish I had, because when you're going through something hard, a lot of times you don't want to hear from the person who's number one and rocking everything. You want to hear from somebody who's been through the struggle that you've been through.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's a lot of what medical school taught me in regards to personal relations. Then thankfully succeeded in passing classes, passing boards, and then I was technically walking across the stage on May 2nd, although I had some credits that I had to finish up after, in quotes, graduation.
Yeah.
And then on May 7th, I went for a bicycle ride. Actually, what was funny is I do remember debating. So the previous day had been decent out to go for a ride, but I decided I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And the next day I was like, oh, it's too beautiful out. I can't not go ride my bike.
Right.
So I texted.
And did you have like headphones in or something like that? Or
sometimes I ride with one earbud in my right ear. I always keep one ear so I can hear.
Yeah.
And I could, the volume is low enough that if you were riding on my right side, I could have a conversation with you, because being aware of your surroundings is very important.
Yeah, for sure.
So, go on.
Texted the crews. So I work EMS, and I had texted them that I wouldn't be able to come in and cover station in case everybody came out for like the next hour and a half, because I was going for a ride. And then I have this black point in my memory that I don't remember the actual ride. I knew it was a beautiful day that day. I knew I sent that text, and
you knew you wanted to go for a ride.
Yep, and then I knew that I did go for a ride, but I don't remember the route I took.
Oh, man.
I don't remember the accident, which is both incredibly frustrating, but also a blessing, because you don't have that fear in you that I probably would have had, the flashbacks, the PTSD from that.
Yeah.
But it also means I don't have the fear of God about riding bikes still.
Yeah. But Hannah sent me a picture of her bicycle, and it's torn up.
It was trash.
Yeah. And so I don't know. it is lucky that you can't remember that, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of surreal looking back, and you look down and you think about how, if that's what happened to the bike, I'm very grateful that my internal organs didn't suffer damage.
Yeah. Or your brain again.
Yes.
You know?
I don't think my head could have sustained another hit like that.
Wow.
And that's what, when your sister sent me a message on Facebook Messenger, and she said Hannah got hit by a car, and she didn't give very good details. So yeah. So I didn't know it, like, if you got another brain injury or what, but yeah.
So tell us about the recovery.
So, well, I can tell you that the first thing I remember, I think maybe I was extubated when I got to the University of Kentucky ER, because I feel like I was on my side when I came to consciousness. I didn't open my eyes, but I knew what was going on, and I woke up with the calmest determination of, I've been through something like this before.
Yeah.
I've gotten through it.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it again. I'm going to spend the time that I need to get better,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get better, and then black out again.
Wow.
So that was probably what I've clung to this entire time during recovery.
Is that you've
that feeling.
been through it before?
Is that I've been through it before. I've gotten better. I'm going to spend the time I need to get better and not jump into anything too soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't wake up in pain. I didn't wake up in fear of what was going on,
Yeah.
which I probably should have had, because I triggered the mass transfusion protocol of the UK ER because my blood pressure was so low.
Oh man.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's insane. And did you start physical therapy like right away, or did they have to do surgeries, or what happened?
They did surgeries. They couldn't do surgery the day of because I was too unstable.
And what were the surgeries on, like your legs or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got, and I'm a walking hardware store, as a physical therapist put it.
Wow.
I have screws holding on a rod in my lower leg for the tib fracture I had. Then my right femur was also broken, so I have a rod in there. My left ulna and radius were both broken, so I have rods and pins in there. My elbow was shattered, so I actually have a metal elbow now.
What?
Which is interesting.
That's crazy.
That's really good for MMA. Just kidding.
I still
Maybe you
have
could do that
ulnar
instead
nerve,
of
though.
The bike.
Instead of bike riding.
Yeah.
Really?
Might,
So they-
might be safer.
So they're able to do that and then still have the nerve pass right through there, right? The ulnar nerve.
Yeah, so thankfully I still
Wow.
have my nerve, and which means when I hit my funny bone, I
You can
still feel that shock.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. My left humerus also got some pins in that one. And then my pelvis, because the pubic symphysis, so kind of the spot in the middle of the front of your pelvis, was what we call an open book fracture, where it was separated by 6.2 centimeters. So I've got that wired back together. And then I have some screws in my sacrum.
Wow.
So on a lighter note, I'm permanently screwed, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, sure.
and then my C2 fracture, which is also called a hangman's fracture because it's what you get when you hang yourself. They didn't have to do any surgery for that, and I just spent 71 days in a collar, a C collar. But
and it just kind of heals itself as long as it's in place.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And then physical therapy kind of started in the hospital. Probably in the last maybe couple days, a physical therapist would come and I would sit on the side of the bed.
And how
But that
long?
was therapy.
How long were you in the hospital?
I was in the trauma ICU for the time that I was at University of Kentucky's hospital. The accident happened May 7th, and I was there till May 20th.
Okay.
Then I was transferred to inpatient rehab on May 20th till June 10th.
Wow.
Yeah. That.
COVID. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna say that's intense. You man, put yourself through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
I would not have imagined that this was the plan for me, but
Yeah.
here I am, and we'll get through it.
So how are you feeling now? Like, is there still effects from it? I'm sure there is, but what are those effects?
So thankfully, with the hand, I'm getting more of motion back and strength. What had happened was the radial nerve, while it was there, it still needed to reconnect to some of the muscles. So I couldn't make a fist with my left hand, and I also couldn't straighten out my fingers. So I was essentially paralyzed in the left hand.
Okay.
And can almost make a fist. My pinky is still lagging behind a little bit, but that's okay because it's getting there.
Yeah.
Pain-wise, I don't really have any. Sometimes I get a little achy after a long walk, or my ankle kind of just starts acting up a little bit. But other than that, thankfully, I don't have pain. I'm only taking 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol every 12 hours.
That's good.
And then some gabapentin for the nerve pain as my nerves regrow back and learn what it's like to feel the world. Sometimes it can be they can overreact a little bit.
Yeah,
sure. And it was May 17th. Is that May? Yeah,
May 7th.
May 7th. Oh wow. So this is like, it hasn't even been that long. And you're already going out for walks. You're already.
Well, she signed up for the 5K, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what we call an iron will.
Yeah,
right there.
no doubt.
Jeez.
And I hope you film yourself walking, and so we can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll depend on kind of my knee surgery. I think originally I had signed my mother up for it because I knew that she would be the most functional. And if I can, in the end, if I'm able to do it, heck, I'll take crutches and I'll go, or I'll wheel my wheelchair and when I need a break, I'll sit down and then
I guarantee. Yeah.
Right
on. That's a iron will.
Yeah.
I think it's something that kind of got rediscovered, not just with getting through each day, but kind of the hunger to do something more, to see what you could do. Because when I originally started setting goals for distance of walking, and then I would get to the other day when I was walking, I got back to the house and I was at 6.3 miles. I had aimed for 6 miles, but I got to 6.3 when I was back to the house. I was like, well, now I got to go for 6.5 benchmark because I've put in this time to get to 6 miles, and I'm so close. Now I'm like, I should have gone for 7.
Yeah, I love that attitude.
Me too.
My ankle was acting up a little bit, so I decided that 6.5 should be the limit.
Wow. So do some of those, do some of the pins come out eventually? Do you get because I know some things they have to keep, right? Like obviously a metal elbow. I mean, that's going to stay there. But what about some of the other things? Once your femur is good, they take those out. Is that how it works?
That all stays unless I start having issues in my ankle with the screws or pins that are there.
Okay.
Everything will stay in.
Wow. There you go.
And I can make it through an MRI. Found that out this past or 2 weeks ago when I got my hand MRI'd. I was a little nervous about that one because when I called UK, the nurse went, "Yeah, all your new hardware should be MRI compatible." And I went,
"Should be.
What should be? I need a yes or a no."
We might have slipped in something like elbow that can't handle it.
Yeah. So if you start feeling this, let us know right away. Wow.
Yeah. The good news, nothing came out. I didn't end up stuck to a piece of machinery or anything like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so crazy. So you graduated from medical school. So what's going on with that? Like, when do you see yourself starting that career?
All right. So my residency program in Laredo, Texas has been awesome with helping me. They said, just get better. Your spot's here for you when you get better.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome.
So what'll happen is I'm estimating January, but again, recovery from the surgeries, the 2 surgeries I have left will determine if it is January. But either January or February, I'll go down to start family medicine residency in Laredo, Texas. And that's where you are kind of you're practicing, but you have somebody looking over your shoulder, making sure you make the right decisions, seeing how you come to those conclusions. And Yes, you're a doctor. Yes, you are now paid, which will all go to my lovely loans. But